Hey y'all, Serpent here. Doing something different today as I'm doing my first ever product review. So I was contacted by a representative from Votatu and they were gracious enough to send me this RMR. I want to give a huge shout out to Votatu for sending me this RMR and allowing me to do a review video on it and to test it out. This particular model is called the Votatu PMD504, and as you can see, I mounted it on my favorite sidearm in my collection, my Elite Force Glock 17 Gen 4. As a disclaimer, this is not a real gun, this is an airsoft gun, so if you're watching this from the real steel world, I can't tell you how well this sight holds zero with actual recoil. Disclaimer aside, it comes with a base plate already that you can mount onto the upper slide of your sidearm if it's RMR compatible. Unfortunately, this base plate wasn't compatible with the Glock, so I did have to purchase a separate base plate that was specifically manufactured for Glocks. Installation is very straightforward and it comes with all the tools that you need to install the RMR. The base plate and red dot sight are separated at first, so you have to mount the base plate onto the upper slide of your sidearm if it's RMR compatible, and then mount the actual sight onto your base plate. This RMR takes one CR1632 battery, and you have to use this flathead tool right here to open up the tray to install the battery as demonstrated here. You have two buttons on the left hand side of the RMR. To turn on the red dot sight, hold the up button for a few seconds and it'll turn on. To increase the brightness of the reticle, press the up button, and to decrease the brightness, press the down button. This RMR comes with 3 different reticles, and the way you navigate them is to just hold the up button for a few seconds and then the reticle will change once you let it go. On the top rear of the RMR, you have the adjuster for elevation when you're zeroing your sight, and on the right side of the RMR, you have the adjuster for windage near the battery compartment. And those are pretty much all the essential functions. To turn off this RMR, just hold the down button for a few seconds. All that aside, let's get into some shooting tests. So we're out here and we're getting ready to do some shooting tests. We have our willing participant here. His name is Jeff, and he is very eager to do some shooting tests. How you feeling today, Jeff? Man, f*** you. Hey, that's what I like to hear, Brody. I'm always down to help the cause. Anyways, enough chit chat. Let's do some shooting. So here are my final thoughts after doing some shooting tests with this red dot sight. Overall, I really like this RMR. It's very easy to mount onto your pistol and install it into zero. I'll be honest, at first I was very anti-red dot sights on pistols. Just being a bit of a traditionalist, I like to stick with iron sights. But I can say after using it, I have expanded my horizons and changed my mind a little bit. It is definitely easier for target acquisition for sure and just staying on target, so I give a thumbs up for that. The sight picture on this is really good and it's easier to shoot with both eyes open compared to irons. Switching between targets with this is a breeze, and it's easy to keep your eye on the dot as you're going for rapid follow-up shots. The sight itself is very easy to navigate and it has some really good options for reticles. One thing I can say I wish is that it had an option to switch from red to green, but apart from that, really good options for reticles. You can pick one of these bad boys up from Amazon, and I'm gonna post a link to the description below. Right now, they're on a discounted price for $124.59, but typically their price for these is $139.99. And for this price, I mean, you're getting a very solid RMR, and I do believe this will be a very good application for a real steel firearm, but as I said before, unfortunately, I don't have a real one of these yet, but I would like to down the line get a real one so then that way I can test it out fully and see how well this sight holds a zero. But I do have pretty good expectations on this from what I can see so far. Down the line, I would like to actually record some gameplay with this RMR and actually have this sight being shown in action. It's probably most likely going to happen whenever I go to an outdoor CQB field or an indoor CQB field. This is pretty much going to wrap up the review. Based on everything I said about this RMR as well as the testing that I've done with it, this RMR is going to get a solid 2 thumbs up in my book, and I would highly recommend this to others. Again, huge shout out to Votatu for sending me this RMR and allowing me to do a review video on it. As always, push things to the limit and have fun. Serpent out.